I always talk about living an authentic life, but living an authentic life has different aspects to it. I defined living an authentic life as living from your true self, living from who you truly are. So, but there's another aspect I look at it, which is brutal honesty. This one is not brutal honesty directed to an outsider, but brutal honesty directed to yourself. Are you lying to yourself? Are you following the deepest desires of your true self? Are you living according to those nudgings within you that you know that are your true desires, that are directing you in a particular direction? Or are you keeping them aside and just going by how the society wants you to be, or how your family, or just anything, the way the system of things are? Are you just going by the flow, or are you truly living who you are? So brutal honesty here is about living by this your truth, telling yourself, listening to these things within you and going by them. When you do that, you are brutally honest with yourself. But in most cases, what happens is that we are not brutally honest with ourselves. We don't go by these things we perceive within us. We don't go by them. Sometimes there's maybe in a relationship, for instance, you know that you're not supposed to be with this person, but because you're desperate, or because of the expectations of people from you, or expectations of the society from you, you are in that relationship, even when you know that it's not serving you, that is even killing you gradually, but you are in that relationship. You are disrespecting yourself, you are sabotaging yourself, you are not treating yourself fairly. And how do you now want others to treat you fairly? It is to the degree you are brutally honest with yourself that people will be, or things around you will respond in that manner towards you. So if you're lying to yourself, people will lie to you. A lot of things will not be truly aligned to you. But if you're truly moving according to that, the divine guidance you're getting within you, the divine guidance, the internal guidance you're getting, those nudgings in a particular direction, if you're moving according to them, then you are brutally honest with yourself. So lying to yourself is when you don't go by these things. So another way we lie to ourselves and also lie to people is by not fully expressing ourselves. So you find out that, my own personal observation, I am not saying that it's bad or it's good, but that is my personal observation, and it makes me very uncomfortable, is that people don't always express how they feel within them. And then for some, you can easily feel what they are feeling within them, but why they are lying about it is what you can't explain. So that is also part of not being brutally honest with yourself. So living an authentic life is a very beautiful thing to me, because when you are truly honest with yourself, you are truly honest with life, life will be truly honest with you, and people will be truly honest with you. Because what actually happens is that it is not always, it is your motives, your intentions about things that manifest in your life. Not always maybe you're saying another thing, but your intent is another thing. You are just confusing life. Life may not know what to give to you. So why not be one? Let your A be A, let your B be B. What you're saying, what you're feeling within you, let it be what you're saying. How you're feeling, your emotions, what you feel. Not like you feel another thing, you say another thing, then you go behind the person to say what you truly feel. That is I don't even know what to call it. To me, it is childish. It is childish. If you don't feel okay about something, express yourself. Be honest about it. Be brutally honest about it. Being brutally honest doesn't mean being rude. You can say, no, that makes me uncomfortable, please. And that is it. You have expressed yourself. To me, it is pretense. I don't know what people are pretending. What are you trying? Who are you trying? What exactly is the pretense all about? Are you trying to impress another person for what? So that we will gain what? Is it like if I mistakenly say something you don't like, if you say it to me, I would tell you sorry. So, but you won't say it to me, you will pretend that everything is okay, then you go behind me and say it. Therefore, I'm using this as an example. What have you gained by that? I am the one that offended you. I'm the one that will say sorry to you. Then going behind me to say it will not help anybody. So, this is another aspect of it. It is health. It is health to our bone marrows, our systems, to actually be truly honest. You don't know how the whole system of the human being works. Everything works together, and everything responds to our thoughts, our emotions, our words, and our actions, because all of them are the same thing on the same continuum. The thoughts are at the quantum level, so but all of them are basically the same thing. So every cell in our body, all of them are affected by how we think, all these things, the way we act. So imagine you're constantly thinking another thing and saying another thing, what you're doing to your body, what you're doing to your system. Your body and your system, entire system will be so confused. So that gap between what you're saying and what you're living, or what you are feeling within you, is a lie. So I think we should cultivate enough vulnerability, because I don't actually know. This thing I'm talking about, I even see old men and women behaving that way. I don't know what we are afraid of. So for some of us that truly express how we feel about things, some people do conclude that maybe we are too direct, or maybe aggressive, or some people even call it being rude. Then I don't think it is like that. What another thing I have noticed is that people will not express how they feel, and when you express how you feel, they have a name for it, and that is another problem altogether. So if you're going to live an authentic life, then you are going to grow above this life of pretense. You're going to grow above it and be truthful to yourself. It is, first of all, you want to keep your system healthy. You want to keep your entire life healthy. You want the entire cells in your body and the systems and tissues to be working in the same, to be coherent. There is something they call homeostasis, to be working, to be completely aligned. And that is what health, pure complete health, is all about. So that is the number one benefit for you. Then when it comes to our spiritual life, if you keep lying to yourself like that, I don't know what to say. So you think that lying is only when you lie to others. No. Number one lie is a lot of things that we think is about others, we actually do them to ourselves. Like, a lot of people find it difficult to forgive themselves. A lot of people find it difficult to care for themselves. Like, what I'm talking about now is self-care. Living an authentic life, to me, actually is spiritual life, our spiritual life, as well as self-care, because when you live an authentic life, you are living a healthy life, because that is how you have been designed by default to live. You're flowing according to the rhythm of your own life. And life itself generally has a rhythm. So when your own rhythm, you're flowing according to your own rhythm, it will match with the rhythm of life itself. And you will see that your life will just be in a ceaseless flow. You and all those other things will not have any business. Yes, because we live in this world, because of the way things are, you can experience stress, experience challenges, and all that. Like last month was one hell of a month for me. So if it's not this one, it will be that one. If it's not this one, but I was just observing them and laughing because I know that they started, all those things happening started, and they will stop also. And this month I am here just flowing and basking in God's goodness and all that. So what I'm trying to say is, do not be afraid to express yourself. And one of the traits of someone, how you will know that you have grown, that you're maturing, is expressing yourself and allowing others to express themselves freely. One thing we do is we don't express ourselves, and we don't also want others to express themselves. There was one that was on a call with one person. I sensed in my spirit that the person is tired of the call, but being that she called, so I was like, let me just allow her. And instead of saying, oh, this call has actually stayed for a long time and we have actually discussed a lot already, let's continue some other time, she said, I will call you back. So I knew in my heart that she's not going to call back, but it's just her own way of ending the call. Hence, she is no longer comfortable with the call. So that is that kind of thing I'm talking about. I kept quiet. I'm not judging her, but it's just to give you an example. I think the bold thing to have done that time is that to say, if I'm not saying my own way is the best way, but what I would have done is to tell you, please, let's continue some other time. It's really nice talking with you. We'll continue some other time, and that will be that. So why lie? I'll call you back later. There's something that just came up. I'll call you back later. Why? So that is that kind of thing I'm talking about. You think you're gonna offend me by telling me, please, let's actually end the call here. How are you going to offend me? So that is, I don't understand where people got that mentality from, thinking that by expressing exactly how things are with you, that you're going to offend the next person. Me, I don't see it that way. You're not going to offend me by expressing how you feel or what I'm giving. Like sometimes I know there are times I want help from people. I already know the people around me, what they can actually assist me with or what they can assist me with. So when I ask, and I will give them the option, please, 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 please don't try to please me. If this is not comfortable for you, please tell me, and let me look for an alternative. So some of them will accept and do with all their heart. Some will just accept and do, not to offend. And that is one thing I don't like. Me, if it is not comfortable for me, I won't do it. And I know I'm not offending you. I will tell you, okay, please, this is not the right time for me, because I'm always very busy. This is not the right time for me. If it can wait, or what if it is not something that aligns with me, I'll tell you, please, it's not something I can do. And it doesn't mean that when some other thing comes up tomorrow, that I will not make myself available to help. So what I'm trying to say, because this video is getting too long, is that let's live with brutal honesty. Let's truly live according to let what you feel within you be what you're saying, how you're acting. That discrepancy can produce serious health issues for you. It is not only going to produce maybe serious bodily issues, health challenges for you. It is it can hinder your spiritual growth because you're not honest with yourself. You're not being honest about life itself. So number one thing I have said here is listening to that which the direction that your spirit is taking you and living according to that. That is being brutally honest with yourself. Then second one I mentioned is also expressing how you feel about things. That is another level of being brutally honest with yourself too. The way what you feel is a different thing, and the way you express it is also another thing. So wisdom would suggest that you express it in such a way that you respect the other person, but not in such a way that you're hiding your feelings, hiding it totally, and now going behind the person to discuss the person isn't respect. You tell the person in a respectful way. Sometimes I lose it and I say it just the way it is burning in my heart at times, but I am growing. So you, instead of not saying it, I would even suggest you say it exactly the way it is in your heart. Even if you are very angry, say it in that angry way instead of inhibiting yourself. Because when you keep all those things piled up within you, you are harming yourself. I see people, maybe they have piled a lot, then just small thing like that, they will explode like a volcano because they are piling all these things within them. I'm not actually expressing them. So when you express yourself exactly how you feel, you live free. There is nothing you are keeping within you. All those things we keep within ourselves does not allow our spirit to move freely the way it is. We just give ourselves excess baggage to carry about. Remember what Jesus said, that the kingdom of God is for those like children. See, children, look at them very well. When they are hungry, they are crying. They don't even care whether there is food in the house or not. They cry until you give them food. When you offend them, they let you know. They don't begin to think the best strategy to keep it within them. They just express themselves. Just be like a child. They don't have any reservations. They don't begin to keep things. Your true nature is free like that. You don't need to begin to pile up things in your heart. Then even there's another thing that I observed, that sometimes someone will do something and innocently actually, then you will conclude in your heart that this is why this person did this is why you did, and begin to act from what you have concluded in your head. That is also another area we need to look at. I think when you begin to conclude that thing in your head, instead of concluding and acting from it, something you have not confirmed to be true, I think what you should do is, excuse me, I think what you should do is go to the person and say, look at what I think or how I felt about this thing, look at how I felt about this thing. Then know what the person will say. And the person will actually tell you, oh, I wasn't in my mind, was not even there when I was acting or saying that, so that thing will get cleared. Or otherwise, you know in your heart, you just tell yourself the truth that this person may not have acted because of this, because of that, and just leave it like that, and don't come to that conclusion and begin to act from it. If you can help it, go to the person and say, look at the story I'm telling myself according to Brené Brown. She said it calls it the story I tell myself. So you go to the person and say, look at the story I'm telling myself about this particular thing, and get it cleared up. Or otherwise, you tell yourself the truth. If you are a mind reader, then fine. But if you can't really read minds like that, so why come to conclusion over something that you're not sure? Just let it go. So I think the best thing is ask, but whereby you can ask, discard it and don't begin to act from something you have concluded in your head, like we do most of the time. So I'll be ending it here. This is just what I decided to talk about this evening. I just hope that it will help you in one way or the other. so that we'll keep growing and live in a better society whereby it will not be too difficult to live in, because all these things, in my opinion, makes it very difficult to live. You don't now know who to trust and who not to trust and all that, whereas we are supposed to collaborate and live in a kind of community and support each other. But because of all these discrepancies, people keeping something else in their mind and saying you don't even know who to reach out for one thing or the other, for collaborations and all those things. So that is it this evening. I remain your sister, Chinwendo. I remain Chinwendo. Peace and say, have a wonderful evening. Bye bye.